each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Whew. Someday I will take off the last 3-4 seconds of that of the theme song. If you have the volume up, there's actually it fades out, and you can actually hear it go, whew. And I kept it in there on purpose. Kind of kept that in there on purpose because it makes it not perfect. A lot of sounds and different songs and stuff that you hear, um, like there's one song, "Sweet Emotion" by Aerosmith. You hear that well, what that was is a little thing, but if you listen to the whole thing, right, you can hear it break. And they keep it in there because it sounds good, but it's imperfect. A lot of Pink Floyd, Beatles. You'd be amazed at some of the things. People using toilet paper rolls to create sounds in songs and things like that. So, yeah. We'll see how many people jump on this one. You're probably going to think I'm going to be pretty opinionated on this, but I'm not going to just focus on bad stuff with this one. I'm not going to do that. Because there are benefits I'm going to try and look. I'm going to go out of my way because I am very opinionated on this. And my answer, if you're an alcoholic, is fuck no. No. But is that the right answer? See, there's a difference between my opinion and what the correct answer is, because the answer might be different for you. It's all based on one thing. What are your intentions? What are the intentions? All right. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I am your host. I will always be your host. People threaten to come on with me. Let's do it. Come on with me. I think, you know what? I think it's kind of weird because I don't mind if people want to come on and join me, but I think they're waiting for me to ask. If you want to come on and do Daily Trudge with me, just say something. I can't catch everything, man. I mean, I'd like to think I do, but I don't. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. So we're gonna get a little assistance here. Okay. Now, I trust AI as a tool. Other than that, no, I don't fucking trust it at all. I'm just I'm just waiting on the Terminator to happen, right? So, what are the benefits and drawbacks of sober bars and mocktails for alcoholics? Okay. Because I deal with alcoholism here. Now, if you're a person that has a drinking problem or a problem drinking and maybe a different situation or something like that is going to help you out, and that's great. That's great. Good job, man. I understand not wanting to be the odd duck at the work function where you've got a soda in your hand. Okay. Here's the key to that. You know, here's part of the problem. It's the mindset of an alcoholic. So I'll cover my stuff first. We'll get into this. Okay. What are we doing at sober bars? What is the intention? Well, the intention for a lot of people is experiencing the good old days. They miss being at the bar. They miss the camaraderie. They miss this. Well, there's plenty of groups out there that do the same thing. And a sober bar in and of itself is kind of an oxymoron. A bar serves alcohol. That is its intended purpose. Okay. You know what we call sober bars? Coffee shops. That's where I went, right? The first time I got sober, there was this place down the street. It was actually a coffee bar bookshop, and it was open at night. So they opened at like 7 o'clock at night till like 5 in the morning. And you'd sit there and drink the worst coffee in the fucking world. All the books were free, but I had some great conversations there. Great conversations. So it was a community, but we didn't need the clinking of the glasses and the the jukebox and the darts and the pool see, if you want to do that, there's reasons out there. Not only that, but when we try and shield the alcoholic from temptation, it's going to wind up blowing up in our face. It'll end up blowing up in our face. All right. See, I told you nobody's going to show up to this one because they thought it was going to be opinionated. That and it's 118. They're probably busy. All right. Sober bars and mocktails can offer both benefits and drawbacks for individuals in recovery from alcoholism. While they can provide a sense of normalcy. Now, I have a problem with that. It is not normal. That's the problem. Normalcy. You got to find a new normal. All right. I have a V8 every now and again. And every time my brain does a couple of things. The first thing it notices is this. There's no alcohol. It's like, where's the vodka? It's also kind of missing some pickle. And that's like, it ain't Sunday morning. It ain't morning time. Why are we drinking this? See, that's normalcy. And that's the problem. And social inclusion, they may also trigger cravings or reinforce old habits for some. Ultimately, the decision to utilize these alternatives should be made in the consultation of a healthcare professional or therapist. If you need to talk to your therapist about going to a sober bar or having a mocktail, I'm going to tell you right now, actually talk to them. But I'll give you the quick answer. If you have to do that, you got your answer. You have your answer. If you need your therapist to confirm that it's okay to do it, then it's probably wrong. If I'm looking for anybody to confirm my behavior, I'm on the wrong track. It's your intuition that will tell you whether or not your behavior is correct. All right. So there are some benefits. Okay. Which I agree with. Social inclusion. Yeah. What is the opposite of addiction? Well, it's fellowship. But is this fellowship? Are they talking fellowship? Are you getting together and talking about working through your problems and showing each other your experiences and things like that? Okay. They tried a sober bar here in Colorado. They tried 2 of them. They failed. They're opening another one in Fort Collins. It will fail also. It's going to fail. It is a waste of money. It is a waste of time. Now watch out for the kava stuff. You're like, oh, well, let's do kava. That is mushrooms. Kava coffee house. That would be mushrooms. They're like, oh, we're here for recovery. Well, you're peddling mushrooms. No, you're not. Those also did not last very long in Colorado, and for very good reason. It was a lie. They were lying. What do alcoholics and drug addicts do? They lie. Right? Reduced isolation. I could go for that, certainly. All right. Now, when I leave an AA meeting, I feel pretty good for a while. When you leave that sober bar, it's over with. It really depends on the connection that is going on there. Now, are these sober bars having separate rooms and maybe they could have meetings and these other things? No. They just want to sell you inflated juice. Mocktails are 90% ice. So what are you really drinking? You're drinking a slushy. If you want non-alcoholic, then you can get non-alcoholic options at Chili's and everywhere else. They have them. They've had them for fucking years. It's when it becomes a fad. That's the thing is recovery is not a fad. Not for me. It is a way of living. And my brain will be like, why the fuck are we at a bar and the smell won't even be right. But my brain will get caught up in the stuff. Right? I'm talking about me. It might be different for you, but nobody is here to, say anything. So, flavor exploration. I'm not even bothered. Healthier lifestyle. Yeah. Alcohol is just bad for you. Alcohol is just bad. There are no benefits to drinking alcohol. So yeah, if you are a person who's like, alcohol is kind of, it's making it harder for me to live my life, and you want to quit, fuck yeah, good job, good for you. I'm not going to sit there and continue to congratulate you, because see, I have a problem with alcohol, and once I start drinking, I can't fucking stop, and I will ruin everything around me. There's a big difference between a problem drinker and me. I had a drinking problem when I was 15. It turned into alcoholism, right? So, but if you want to live a healthier lifestyle, that is great. Good job. Quit making it a fad. There are people out there where this hurts them a lot more. Oh, but I want to be around sober people. Then continue being sober and you will attract sober people. Then do that. Go online. Hey, I'm not an alcoholic, but I am looking for sober things to do. There are a lot other things that you could do better. Get some people together, go play some disc golf, go bowling, go do something else. Why do you got to hang out in the bar? No, sober bars really are just a way to entice alcoholics back. And the people running them do not care about your recovery. They want to make money, and it is not going to work. Because this will be new and exciting, but once the excitement wears out, reduce relapse risk. I just don't agree with that. It is not going to reduce the risk of craving or relapse. Cravings last 70 seconds. Get through the 70 seconds. Now, if you want to have a mocktail, by all means do it, man. If you're feeling adventurous, want to try something to drink, but it cannot be used as a way. It's not a lifestyle that's going to do you much good. Most of this is just alcoholics wanting what they want. That's most of what this is. Okay. Now, there are some pros to this, but the cons outweigh it. You know what the saying is? You know what the saying is? The saying is this: you hang out too long in the barbershop, you're going to get your hair cut. Right? Drawbacks, potential for cravings. Isn't it weird that it reduces relapse risk, but also has a potential for cravings? It depends on the kind of person you are. For alcohol, if you are an alcoholic, this is just dangerous. In my book, okay, there's a whole clinical side to this, that your brain reacts to certain things. You might have a mocktail and alcohol might be on your mind the rest of the fucking day. The obsession might come back. Do you really want to take that risk? Okay. You're better off challenging yourself by walking down the alcohol aisle and not buying anything. And even then, is that something you do? No? Oh. Huh. No? Okay. Some individuals, the taste or appearance of mocktails can trigger cravings, especially in early recovery. See, we're just trying to satisfy. This is what it comes down to for me anyway. We're just trying to fill that big God-sized hole in our fucking stomach. And we think this stuff is going to work. It will. It might for a little bit, but it is not something sustainable. You'll end up spending just as much money on mocktails. Actually, they tend to be a little bit more expensive when they only serve mocktails. They're going to drive that price way up. Reinforcement of old habits. You might have a mocktail one day, and next day you meant to drive to the sober bar, but instead you ended up at the liquor store. Yep. All right. Trace amounts of alcohol. Some mocktails do have alcohol. Non-alcoholic beer in the can, Heineken and these other ones, they have alcohol in them. They are not totally non-alcohol. It's just that the amount of alcohol is negligible. Here's the problem. Any amount of alcohol taken into the system by an alcoholic creates a craving to have more. It doesn't matter the amount, right? It's you know, one drink's too much and 1,000 isn't enough. But once your brain's like, oh, alcohol's back in, now the obsession may start again. It may start again. Right? Sugar intake. Yeah. They all have sugar. Psychological triggers. The psychological association with drinking, even with mocktails, can be a trigger for some people. Not everybody. Not everybody. You know, when I got sober the first time, I was 18, right? And I had never, ever drank in a bar. Never. And when I was in my mid-20s, I became friends with some people that I worked with at Lookout Mountain School for Boys. And they said, hey, do you want to go to the club, go dancing with us on Friday night? I'm like, yeah, I'll go. And I ended up loving it so much that I started going with them. Now, I'd never been in a bar. I had not once was I triggered to drink. Nope, not once. But because I didn't have it in my brain, right? And I got my drinks for free because I was a DD. I just told them I was a DD, so I got my drinks for free. There was even one point, my friend Chad, who I hung out with all the fucking time. We hung out a lot, right? And he went to go get some drinks. He's like, hey, you want a drink? I'm like, yeah. And he brings it back, and I taste it, and it's whiskey and Coke. He didn't even know that I didn't drink. I spit it out, and I told him, hey, dude, I don't drink. I'm an alcoholic. He's like, oh, shit, I'm so sorry. You know, even that did not trigger me. I went on with my night. Okay. So, see, there's a situation right there. But I had reason to be there. I stayed sober. I had at no point. Okay. Now, I had 12 years of sobriety. I went out. Then I started drinking in the bar. Now, if I was to go back and do that again, I would be triggered. Eventually, if I did it that much, eventually I would be triggered. See the difference? So in some cases, it might be okay. But this is going to be a personal decision for you. What I'm trying to do is just give you the pros and the cons, mostly the cons, huh? Well, I'm not big on them, but I'm not going to sit here and judge you about it either. That I'm not going to do. No. Because I don't know what kind of life you've had. Okay. But when we're peddling mocktails to alcoholics, you know, I think my time is better suited, maybe helping somebody else. So considerations, and I like that they're putting this on an individual basis. Individual triggers. Now, triggers last 70 seconds. In this case, for this, it's crucial to be aware of personal triggers and how mocktails might affect one's own recovery journey. Okay. Now, I understand because you want connection. It's what almost every alcoholic and addict that comes into the rooms wants. Connection. And maybe it's your only option at the moment to get things started. Well, you know, in that case, I'm going to probably say, well, that's a good start, man. That's a good start. I know what it means for me. You know, like earlier I said, you know, I drank a V8 juice and my brain would be like, where's the vodka? Yeah. Professional guidance, consult with a therapist or healthcare professional is important to determine if mocktails are a suitable alternative in recovery. Or ask your sponsor. Oh, you don't have a sponsor. I'm making fun. I'm having fun. Ask your therapist or doctor what they think. As somebody that knows you, I'm gonna it. I tell you what they're gonna. Well, it depends on the age. Older people are gonna tell you, yeah, that's a bad idea. Why are they telling you that? Experience, and I'll probably listen to that. Now, if you want to try it and check it out, go for it, man. Go for it. Okay, but your feet best be on solid ground. Moderation, moderation, and awareness. See, now we have a problem. An alcoholic in moderation? What are you talking about? They're talking about the sugar. If choosing to drink mocktails, moderation and mindfulness are important to avoid potential negative consequences. I don't know what. Yeah. Are mocktails bad for alcoholics? Mocktails like sparkling water mixes and non-alcohol beers are safe and effective alcohol-free choice regulated by the FDA. So the FDA says it's okay. Are you going to trust them? That's the same FDA that said 2 glasses of wine a day will make your heart healthy. And it turns out that no, 2 glasses of wine a day actually will give you heart disease. So are you really going to depend on them? So again, it is up to you. And I really think it's situational. Okay. But the one thing that we have to be careful of is the judgment. I'm not going to judge you. In fact, I I just had somebody on that does work with mocktails and they're finding success in it and things like that. I don't get to judge that, do I? No. That is between them and their higher power. So I'm not here to tell you whether it's right or it's wrong. I just want to make sure you have all the information that you need on this so that you can make an informed decision for you. So trust your intuition on that. Trust your intuition. But remember that working with another person, working with another alcoholic, helping somebody else has the best consequences and will provide you with what you're needing. Make your own mocktails then. Make them at home. Have a mocktail party. You don't need to go to the sober bar to do it. You'll get more out of that and more camaraderie and fellowship from that. Have a mocktail fireside party. You will get more out of that than you would hanging out at a sober bar, I would think. So do what's right for you and your recovery. Yeah. If you want to enjoy a froofy drink, it's not a mocktail. It's just a froofy drink. We don't even need to call them mocktails. We don't need to. It's just a fancy way. It's because it's fun to say. That's why people like it. All right. Thank you all for being here. That all that meaning the one person that showed up on my page for a minute. Not the most um popular topic, but it is something that need to be talked about a little bit at least. So, all right. I'm sure I'll be back after therapy. I always do a live after therapy. It won't be like this. So, my whole intention about this, I haven't had the best morning. Um, last 24 hours emotionally have been hard for me, and I felt myself looking for reasons to fight. So I'm like, let's take a controversial topic and make sure that we cover both sides. And it helped even me out. Now I'm not feeling that way anymore. That's why I did it. And I can educate at the same time. I did this because I was in a bad mood and I knew it would change my attitude. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I love you. You know I do. Peace out.